Hey guys, it's Shannon here from bunchesoflunches.com, and today I have my friend Anna Adden from Becoming A Bentoholic to tell us about her new book, Happy Bento.
Hi everyone!
Hey Anna!
Hi!
Alright, so I have some questions for you that I've been wondering about.
Okay.
First of all, I have to say I've loved your blog for the last couple of years. It's been awesome. Super inspirational.
Thank you.
And then, so it's totally an honor to be here and talk to you about this. This is so cool.
It is super cool.
Okay.
I feel like a movie star.
Okay, so how did you come across bentos?
Well, actually, when my daughter started preschool, we were going around town looking at different preschools, and while we were touring one of them, they happened to bring up the subject of lunch. And at that time, I was kind of like, oh yeah, lunch. I never really even thought about it before because she had gone to daycare where it had been provided for her. And my daughter isn't really a huge fan of sandwiches, especially then, still isn't really. But I thought, what in the world am I going to pack for her? I have no idea what to pack for her for lunch. So I came home, Googled it, and that's how I found the bento box.
Awesome. So, what made you start blogging about it?
Well, actually, when I first started, I felt like I was sending a lot of text messages and sharing it on my own personal Facebook page a lot, and I thought I was getting on all my friends' nerves. So I decided that I should start a blog. It was suggested to me as well, just to start the blog and do Pinterest, just so that I can reach out to other people that are actually interested in it. We can all chat and be happy together.
Do you still share your lunch boxes on your personal Facebook page, or do people just know oh, if I want to see her lunches, I'll
if it's something that I really, really like, then it's sorry, I really like this one, and I put it on Facebook, but maybe once or twice a year now.
Oh, okay. Cool. I still share mine on my personal Facebook.
Or if it's some random holiday like Groundhog's Day, sometimes I'll just share it, Happy Groundhog's Day.
Oh, yeah. Okay. What would you say is your favorite lunch you've ever made?
Well, I do have a page on my blog for the favorite lunches of all time, but I still think that I like the little Winnie the Pooh that's made out of macaroni, because it just kind of happened one night, and I just threw it together, and it turned out really cute.
That's awesome. And who was it for, your daughter or your son?
That was for my daughter.
And did she eat the whole thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, she has a very good appetite. She does usually eat the whole thing.
Awesome. What would you say is your number one must-have bento item? And it can't be a box, and it can't be a knife.
Okay, well, the number one would probably be, silicone cups, I guess, would be the number one for anybody that's just starting out, followed by cookie cutters, and then bento picks are another thing that I really like, but it's not really a must-have, but they do cuten up a lunch quickly.
Yeah. What would you say is your favorite bento item?
As far as?
Well, so would you say your Mickey picks, or Hello Kitty, or is there one bento item that you're just oh my gosh, you were over the moon for?
There are a few that I found. I got these little monkey sauce cups that were on Daiso that I've been looking for a long time. Another thing that I really, really wanted were the little dinosaur cups for my son. Mm-hmm. So those are probably two of my favorite things that I finally got to get.
Did he totally geek out about those?
Oh yeah, he loves them. He loves dinosaurs. Every day he's like, I want a T-Rex sandwich.
Yes. My middle son is the same way. He's like, dinosaur. And now my third son, he's totally... I'm not proud to say this, but we have the Wii U, and we have a bunch of Mario games. And so we thought for the longest time he was doing dinosaur, and he would walk around and he's like, roar. It wasn't a dinosaur, it was Bowser. So now I'm I've got to find some Mario stuff to make him some lunches. He also is obsessed with Mickey, but... Okay, so what made you just decide to write a bento book?
Well, actually, it just kind of happened randomly. I got an email last summer from a publishing company asking me if I'd be interested in writing a bento book, and so I just wrote them back and said, sure, I'm interested.
Do you think
what are the details? Am I really interested? Maybe in retrospect, I'm not.
Was it more work than you anticipated?
It was a lot of work. I actually ended up taking a month off of work in February so I could actually write the words. I had been working on the book the whole time as far as making lunches and stashing them and putting them away.
Yeah. With
the pictures, but it's kind of monotonous writing. Put the food in the silicone cup, put it in the box.
Sure.
I feel like it's pretty redundant, although the publishing company did a great job of kind of editing it out and being like, you need to use a different word or say it differently or, yeah.
Yeah. So what would you say was like, when you had to do your book, okay, so you had to make the lunches, and then did you think that your blog suffered at all because of it, like while you were working on the book?
I do.
Yeah.
I do think my blog suffered a little bit while I was working on the book because pretty much everything that I thought was really, really good was in the book.
Yeah.
And then all the stuff was still being posted on the blog, so I still feel like I had to keep blogging.
Yeah.
But I did kind of cut down. I think I was only doing like 2 or 3 times a week during that time, where usually I'd been doing 4 to 5, but
Yeah.
it was a lot.
Did you like get sick of making these lunches at all?
No, I still like to make the lunches.
Yeah.
But when you have deadlines and stuff, it kind of adds an extra sense of,
Oh yeah. That makes sense. So what would you say was the hardest part of writing the book?
Well, the hardest part is making sure that you have to come up with a plan to like section the book so you can make sure that you're filling the book as you go along. So definitely figuring out what exactly you're going to put into the book, how you're going to section it up and divide it. And I just have always done bento themes, so that's just kind of how I went. So
Yeah,
it's
no, I
themed
love
around
that.
everything that goes on throughout the year and what we do and characters, things
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
No, I loved it. It was awesome because, the first half of the book was like some more basic stuff, and then like
Right.
the back half was totally the holidays and like more specialty ones, which I thought was just adorable. And yeah,
Yeah, and
It's
I did want to
great.
do the basics,
Shark Week.
the basic section, just so that somebody off the street that picks up the book still feels like that they can do it, because those are all simple. Anybody can do them with a few little things.
yes, so good. Okay, so who inspires you?
Well, when I first Googled bento lunches, I actually found the blog Another Lunch. So she was my big inspiration at first. I loved her stuff. Still do. She doesn't do any blogging anymore, which is sad. But then through her, I also found Christy from Bent on Better Lunches, who is excellent, and then also Wendelonia.
Awesome. They are awesome bloggers. And where do you find the inspiration for your lunches?
Mainly the inspiration is just if there's something happening, like if my son is playing soccer like he is right now, or it's the last game, then I might make a soccer lunch. If something's happening at school, I'll make one related to that. If they're learning about something specific, I'll do that. So I think I did all the ABCs one year when my daughter was in preschool that first year, because they took a letter and did one every week.
Cool. Are you a night packer or a morning packer?
So that's a good question. See, I used to be strictly a night packer so that I could have time by myself to do it. It was like my time. But since probably the beginning of this year, yeah, I've been more of a morning time packer. So I'm switching.
Things,
Yes, it does.
yeah,
Like,
I totally.
here
When
you
I'm
go.
really on it, I pack at night. But or like when we did the blog hop at
Yeah.
Christmas time, I was like, okay, like I have a plan and
Yes,
everything.
definitely.
But I'm usually a morning packer. And then I'm like throwing stuff in there, like, okay, well, let's try and get a picture. Okay.
Yeah,
see
here you
later.
go. The bus is here.
Okay, so how do you plan your lunches, or do you wing it? Like, do you actually draw something out, or do you just think about it in your mind? How do you pick your box? What's your process?
I do both. When I was working on the book, I did draw a few of the lunches out.
Yeah.
So much that I was drawing them out that my daughter drew one out. So then I had to make that one for her. But normally I don't draw stuff out. But I would kind of plan stuff out in my head, like for blog hops and things like that, about what I wanted to do.
Okay.
And then in the morning, I just wing it. And then sometimes I wing it and cool stuff happens, like the macaroni, Winnie the Pooh.
But how do you decide which box you're going to use when you do it?
Usually I'm trying to think, like I'll ask in the morning, what do you want? And he's going to tell me a dinosaur T-Rex sandwich.
Yeah.
And then it's a big cutter, so I have to use a box that can use a big sandwich area.
Yeah.
So it's kind of based on whatever I have in the fridge and whatever the kids are asking for.
Oh, okay, cool. So you like to ask them a lot what they want in their lunch?
I do if I
Do you
don't
find
have
that they
any
eat
plans.
it more, like if you ask them?
Yes, my daughter is now making her own lunches on Friday. She thinks it's absolutely great. She only has a half a day on Friday, so I don't really mind what she picks out. So I basically let her pick out whatever she wants, and she's putting it in the box. I try to referee her a little bit to say, you should probably put a vegetable in there. But yeah, then she'll eat the whole thing, and she gets to tell her friends that she made it. So she thinks it's really fun.
That's awesome. Do you find how do you determine what you put in your lunch? Like, what is your packing strategy? So besides like asking your kids, hey, what do you want today? Oh, I want a dinosaur sandwich. Like, how do you decide
like
veggie,
a balanced
fruit?
meal, right?
Yeah.
Fruit, a vegetable, a grain, a protein. That's usually what I stick with.
Okay.
Sometimes there's more fruit and no vegetable, depending on the day, but
yeah,
I try to put a vegetable in there most of the time.
Do you follow like the 5-color rule or try to, or?
I don't.
Yeah.
I do try to kind of balance everything, because when I'm packing it, then I can look at the section has like orange, so there should be some orange or something down here.
Yeah.
I just kind of look at it.
Nice.
To see if it looks visually appealing.
Totally. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, and we're super excited about your book. And if you guys don't have Happy Bento, make sure you go on Amazon and pick up a copy. It retails for $14.
It retails for $17.99, but they have it on Amazon right now for like $14 and some change.
Okay, so $14 and some change. Happy Bento by Anna Adden from Becoming a Bentoholic. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below, and don't forget to subscribe wherever that is.
Thanks for having me.